Hello students, welcome to Eshwari Thaniksha channel. In this video, we are going to study about human respiratory system. So how the air enters into our body and how that oxygen will be used to break the food, releasing energy. So let us see step by step how it enters into our body and how exchange of gases is going to take place. So before starting the video, students, if you are new to our channel, subscribe our channel and also share this video with your friends. So now let us start the video. So here you can see how air enters into our body. So first through the nostrils air enters. Air mainly here it is oxygen. So oxygen will enter into the nostril and from the nostril it will enter into nasal passage. And from the nasal passage it will enter into pharynx, and from pharynx you can see it is entering into trachea and then into bronchi and then bronchioles, and then finally it will enter into alveoli. So let us see in this picture. So here you can see this is the nostril. So through the nostril oxygen will enter into nasal passage. So this is the nasal passage. From the nasal passage it is going to enter into pharynx. So can you see pharynx here? And then from pharynx it will enter into trachea. So this is the trachea which is present. And then these two branches, can you see? So this branches is called as bronchi. So this bronchi will further make branches like this. And this branches called as bronchioles. And at the end of the bronchioles you can see sac like structures which are present. Sac or balloon shaped structures you can see. So those are called as alveoli or alveolar sac. So you can see the enlarged picture here. So can you see here this balloon shaped structure? So this is called as alveoli. So let us see this parts one by one. Nostrils. So first air is taken in through the nostrils. Then it will enter into nasal passage. So in the nasal passage you can see fine hairs will be there and then mucus. So what is the function of fine hair and mucus? Fine hair, it helps in filtration of the air. So if any microorganism is present, it will be trapped by the hair. And then coming to mucus, it traps dust and dirt particle which is present in the air. And then air enters into pharynx. So it is called as the common passage for air and food. So this is one of the very important question which can come in the examination. Which is the common passage for air and food? The answer is pharynx. And next is trachea. So it has a ring of cartilages. It ensures air passage does not collapse. Can you see the cartilages in this picture? So here the ring like structures what you see are called as cartilages. So here you can see a ring of cartilages which is present in the trachea. And then next is bronchi. So bronchus connects trachea to the lungs. That is, here you can see branches arising. So this is trachea. So this trachea will divide into two branches, one into one lung, another into second lung. So this branch is called as bronchi. And then this bronchi will form many branches which is called as bronchiole. So here you can see each bronchi forms large number of smaller tubes which are called as bronchioles. And then next part is alveoli. So balloon shaped structure where exchange of gases takes place is called as alveoli. So which are the gases which will exchange? So mainly it is oxygen and carbon dioxide. So let us see. I have drawn one alveoli, that is balloon shaped structure. How exchange of gases is going to take place. So here this yellow color balloon shaped structure is called as alveoli. It is surrounded by the blood vessel. You can see this is the blood which is present around the alveoli. So now how oxygen enters into our body? Through the nostril it will enter into nasal passage and then pharynx and then trachea, and then it enters into lungs, and in the lungs through bronchiole it will enter into alveoli. So you can see the path. So here this oxygen through the alveoli, it is going to enter into the blood. So this is the blood vessel. Inside the blood vessel, blood will be present and oxygen is entering into the blood. And in the blood you can see carbon dioxide will be present. So this carbon dioxide should be thrown out of our body. So this carbon dioxide now will enter into alveoli, and then from alveoli it passes into bronchiole, and then it passes into trachea, and then from trachea it goes out through the nostrils outside our body. So you can see carbon dioxide going out and oxygen entering into the blood. So this is the exchange of gases which is going to take place. So you can see here the wall of the alveoli contains blood vessels. That is what we have drawn. This is the blood vessel where you can see exchange of gases being taking place. So you can see alveoli. So into the alveoli oxygen will come and finally it will enter into the blood vessel. Whereas carbon dioxide from the blood vessel, it will enter into the alveoli and then finally it is going out of our body. So next let us see the difference between inhalation and exhalation. So inhalation is nothing but air enters into the lungs. During inhalation you can see air is nothing but oxygen entering into the lungs. And exhalation is nothing but air which is being forced out of the lung, which is nothing but carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide will be thrown out of the lungs. So during inhalation you can see the diaphragm will flatten. So where is this diaphragm present? Let us see in this picture. So can you see here this brown muscular layer which is present? So this brown muscular layer which is present is called as diaphragm. So during inhalation what happens is, so diaphragm will be flattened. So that is diaphragm will be flat like this. And during exhalation what happens is, this diaphragm will arch upward. Arch upward means it will be like this, arching upward. And then ribs will move upward and outward, whereas here in exhalation you can see ribs will move downward and outward. And then chest cavity. So chest cavity becomes larger. When chest cavity is becoming larger, you can see air enters into the lungs. Whereas during exhalation, you can see chest cavity becomes smaller and then the air will be forced out of the lungs. So this is the difference between inhalation and then exhalation. So next we will see about hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is the red pigment. It is also called as respiratory pigment. So where this hemoglobin is present, it is present in RBC. What is RBC? RBC is called as red blood cells. So RBC is called as red blood cell, and where this RBC is present, RBC will be present in the blood. So in the blood you can see RBC present, then WBC, and then platelets. Platelets will be present. So you can see this hemoglobin will be present in the RBC, and hemoglobin has high affinity for oxygen. That is, it is attracted towards oxygen, so it will carry oxygen to the cell. So here, so hemoglobin which will be present here will take this oxygen, and where it is taking from here, the oxygen will be taken to the cells. And in the cell what will be present? In the cell you can see glucose will be present. So now this glucose will be broken down to release energy. So to break this glucose, oxygen is required. So that oxygen is carried by hemoglobin. So you can see hemoglobin will carry the oxygen to the cell where it helps in breaking down the glucose to release the energy. So here you can see it carries, it means what? Hemoglobin. Hemoglobin will carry the oxygen to the cells which is used to break glucose to release the energy. So here you can see glucose will be present in the cell. So now oxygen will come and it will break and energy will be released. So this is how energy will be released in the cell, which will be used by our body for various activities. So students, I hope it is clear to you. If you have any doubts, you can write in the comment section. I'll meet you in the next video, students.